there's news, of course, on tariffs that we spoke about this morning, the fact that Bangladesh is levied a certain level of tariffs, and that would ordinarily be looked at as positive for the textile sector. So let's listen in to whether this is going to pan out as an advantage and what else to bear in mind. We've got Mahima joining in to tell you about some of that. Mahima?
Right. So, Alex, as you rightly mentioned, higher tariffs on both Bangladesh as well Vietnam could benefit the Indian textile sectors. Now, let's take a brief look as to how tariffs have been for both of these countries. Higher tariffs on Bangladesh and Vietnam basically could slow down the exports from these countries, and that could probably shift, exports to India. Indian textiles have crossed already, 34 billion USD, and currently, if we see the tariff rate, which is of course paused right now, is at 26% for India, but Bangladesh at 35%, Indonesia, which also exports garments by the way, is 32%, and Vietnam at 20%. On the back of this, now if Indian tariff comes below that 26% mark, textile companies that could benefit from this include Trident, where 39% of their revenue comes from US, Wellspin Living, where 63% of their revenue comes from US, KPR Mills 21%, Alok Industries, where 45% of their revenue comes from the US, and Gokuldas, where almost 77% of their revenue comes from US. So their exposure to the US might increase because of higher tariffs in neighboring countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam. Now, other stocks that could also benefit from this include Kitex Garments, Raymond Limited, as well as Arvind Limited. And in terms of the overall Indian textile industry outlook, textile exports have remained strong despite of the global shifts that are happening. Plus, India is placed better in terms of negotiations with tariffs. We'll have to see, of course, as to how these negotiations fare. And India is also aiming to reach almost 100 billion US dollars by 2030 in terms of their textile exports. So all of this combined together could be a positive for the entire textile space.